I can't stress this enough. As sellers, it is so important that we keep tabs on things that are happening with our account. And I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Real quick video today. Just wanted to make this video to kind of create some awareness. This is why it is so important to pay attention on a daily basis to your account, because if you're not constantly on your account, you're going to get requests. So I have a return request. So it says respond to return requests. So when I click on that, I look at this list. Right now on the surface, I have 4 returns that are open at the time of this video. Here's one: we're waiting for buyer to ship the item. Okay, well, that's not it. Waiting for buyer to ship the item on this one, waiting for buyer to ship the item on this one, and then return ship. Nowhere does it show anything that I'm looking for that says that I need to take some action. But now, if I'm waiting for the buyer to ship the item on these 3, then that really means that this has to be it, right? But now I don't have the item back yet. And it says refund the buyer. It says the item should have already been delivered. Please inspect the item carefully. But if you look at the tracking, I provided the label on the 1st of September. They put it in the mail on the 13th. And then here it is, the 20th of September. And it's still out in Jacksonville, Florida. It's not even here on the West Coast in Las Vegas. So how am I supposed to inspect this item? Why is eBay, number one, requiring me to refund this when it is clearly still in transit? And eBay uses the tracking information when we ship packages, right, to determine when an item's arrived. Why aren't they using it on a return? It doesn't make sense. This idea that the item should have already been delivered when it hasn't shown a delivery scan, it's quite, is it broken or is this intentional? This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys, where the playing field isn't level for buyer and seller. Now, I say this because eBay tracks anytime we ship a package based on the delivery scan. Okay, why isn't that being done here? And now, if you're not paying attention, you could end up with a defect and the buyer getting a full refund before you even receive the item. Okay, so this is why it is very critical. What I do on a daily basis, I go in and check, of course, to see how many items I have to ship, but I handle everything else in red, and I make sure it's taken care of that day, because as you can see, I'm making this video on the 21st of September. You're watching this at a later date. So eBay is only giving me 3 full business days, because on the 25th at any particular moment, that buyer can step in and ask eBay to handle this, and they're not going to look at this tracking information. Okay, they're going to look at this, that the item should have already been delivered thing that they have on here, and they're going to give that buyer a refund. And if that buyer sends back something, and it's a rare thing, but it happens, where the buyer sends back something in a different condition, different item, you name it, now you really have no recourse, because eBay is not going to give you access to the refund tool to make any adjustments. So I'm not going to refund the buyer. Never refund the buyer before you get your item back. That is the worst thing to do. I'm going to contact eBay here to get them to at least extend this date out, refund by September 25th, to allow me time to receive the item. And because the last thing I ever want to do is have to hit this refund button before this item gets back to me. I don't know when this thing's going to get to me. This thing is already 14 days in transit, and it could be lost for all we know. And my understanding is that the onus is on the buyer to return the package back to the seller, just like it's on us to get the item to the buyer. So I will provide you with an update here in this video, and we'll find out exactly how eBay is going to handle this. And here's another thing I wanted to bring up, because I am going to have eBay call me. I'm not going to have it on this video, but the way I do it normally, the way you have to do it now, is you go down here and go to contact us, and then normally you click on selling, and I put, like, well, how to handle a return request as a seller, because that's the closest thing to my situation. So I clicked on that, and then there's no call me. You notice that it says contact us on the left. It says chat with our automated assistant. That's the only option that you have. So I click on that. Okay. And then it will allow me to click on the item. Okay, there's an open case for this. And then I don't want to see the details. I'm going to put have someone call me. And then it'll have them call you. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. But if you don't have a reason like this, if I wouldn't have had a return to point to, then I would have had to gone in as a buyer and choose any reason, how to buy on eBay or whatever, and then go and do this, and then ask for a callback, and then it would have called me back. So there's some times where eBay won't even give you that option. It was trying to earlier give me the option of just emailing somebody, and we all know how that works. So I'll let you know here how it works in a few minutes. Well, you'll know here at the end of this video how this turned out. So in contacting eBay, as you can see, it says the case is pending. Now the crazy thing is, I reached out to eBay with the process I showed you. I ended up getting a call back from an agent. You'll never guess where they're from Jamaica. And seemed like they had quite a bit of knowledge, was very clear. The representative told me that he was only doing this for 2 months, but yet the information that he gave me made some sense, and he said that they were properly trained, so that's good. But what happened here is they went in and created a case. Now, when eBay does this, if eBay creates a case, then it prohibits you from being able to go in and do a refund on your own. Okay, now they put it on a 10-day hold, so it gives this an extra 10 days to resolve itself. The problem is that this is not going to show up again in my overview page. Okay, I have to stay on top of this. So for me, I'm probably going to set a little alarm reminder for 10 days out, and or put a post-it note on my monitor so that I can come back, circle around on this, because I don't want this case to lapse and then eBay take action against me and we're back at square one and I'm dealing with a defect on my account that I have to, take care of. Now, my question to him was, what happens if, because we know that this package is already, a good 2 weeks in transit. What happens if this thing gets lost? And he stated to me, well, the person who purchased the return label would be responsible. So in this case, because it was a remorse return, this person bought the wrong model. It would be on the buyer, and if it shows up as lost, then I basically will not have to. This says case amount $79.15. I guess they put $79.15 on hold on my account, which they shouldn't have had to do, but in this case they did. That money will be freed up and the buyer is just out. And I'm sure that, how eBay works, eBay would end up taking care of the buyer and giving them their money back if they complain loud enough and got the right agent on the phone. So that's what's happening. And, it's imperative, guys, that this is not a set it and forget it business. This is not one of those things where you, just list, and everything is going to take care of itself. You do have to stay on top of these things. You do have to stay on top of return requests and really anything that comes up in your overview that's in red. The blue stuff, where it tells you to update your item specifics, I mean, those are good practices, but not things that are going to put you in situations like this where you can potentially lose 80 bucks because you weren't paying attention. So stay on top of it. Open cases when you need to. You know, if eBay's giving you 3 days and you haven't received the item, then you need to take action. And I know a lot of you don't like calling eBay, but I would get out in front of this. It literally took me 10 minutes, guys. I didn't have a long phone call. Maybe you guys can say I got lucky, and of course I kind of feel that way. I got lucky. I got a representative on the phone that was very quick about it and didn't put me on hold 20,000 times. But at the end of the day, I have some kind of a resolution, and I don't have to worry if this thing doesn't show up by the 25th if eBay is going to take these funds out of my account. So dealing with these kind of things, not playing the set it and forget it, you know, I'm going to list and that's all there is to it. It's a lot more than that. And yet it's another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you to check out this video here, and we will talk to you very soon.